Okay. Oh, we are here live talking. Well, not really live, pre recorded on one of the first episodes of Working with Data. I'm so excited to be here where we're going to do live development and we're going to do this right with you. Such an exciting. So excited about this, and we've got our first guest, Miguel Myers. Miguel, how the heck are you, buddy?
I'm really good. Pretty nervous because I didn't know the whole thing about this exercise, and I was not prepared. So this is completely out of the blue for me.
So this is brand new. We're trying something new here. So buckle up. This is long form content, right? So normally we do like 7-minute videos or an hour long live stream. We're going to be going deep into the mind of Miguel Myers, and I am just excited and very afraid of what we're about to find.
Not as afraid as me, Chris. But this is going to be the first time ever that I'm going to show like what is acceptable Miguel does on the designs that I have published in all these years. So you're gonna see in firsthand the process. You're gonna understand why I do things in the way that I do it, and much, much more. So I'm really excited to share finally all this information with your audience and with the whole community.
Well, I just can't wait to get into it. So, uh, Miguel, let's get to work.
All right, so let me show you. So this is an end result. Like there are multiple reports I have designed, but this one is the most recent, and people have asked about how was this created. I asked some of the community representatives to create some tutorials, but they only show something that has been already designed and how somebody can basically take it as it is and copy it based on certain approaches. But those videos never show exactly how something like this is created from scratch. What was behind? What is the thinking at the moment when this goes into a idea and then becomes a real product? Just as a just to show, this is the core visuals board. As you can see, it has a navigation panel here. The Then we have some kind of buttons here to filter the information. Then we have very interesting like options that up here to show how things are like what is the status of each of these selections. And we have like as well ways to navigate through multiple visualizations and much more. So you can see this is kind of nice looking this like design. The way that this was built and everything that I built is always starting from a concept. I first need to understand the need of the report. Who is the audience? In this case, the audience is people with no much data visualization knowledge. Maybe there are people that they like to use Power BI, they know the basics, but they are not expecting really advanced visualizations or something too complex. They need to see information in a nice, compact, and easy manner. So that's why the design is very consistent. It doesn't change that much because I want you to learn how to navigate in one single view. And then from there, you can just replicate that over and over again. Pretty easy to follow. So I
And
know my
Miguel,
audience. Mhm.
one thing I'm noticing on here that I absolutely love is it's very clear that you've highlighted like the new card visual is a page we're on because that's blue. Everything else is kind of like an easy to read but a lighter color of gray. Um, uh, like, are we going to see that capabilities in Power BI in visuals? Are we going to see that type of thing, or are we going to have to do customizations like this for a while?
No. We have plans to redesign our data visualizations entirely. So
Awesome.
then the first thing that you like when you create a report from scratch, all visualizations should look nice from the beginning.
Mm.
That's a long work that we need to do. I believe the design team is finally taking the first steps, and the idea is to start working on that project in 2025.
Mm.
So that's a good thing. But I mean, even if we come up with the best defaults, designing something like this, it will never rely on defaults. You have to really understand multiple aspects of your report to really take the best approaches or the best decisions relying on color distribution and many other elements of design. That's one thing that I want to clarify. Like it would be hard for someone to use only defaults and come up with something really cool. Well, I hope that answers your question, Chris.
100%. Yeah, that makes total sense. And I'm not looking for uh, Miguel Copilot. I'm looking for like we're here to learn like about the mind of Miguel and how you go through this. So
Okay, yeah. So here is a collection of images that I was able to take from multiple places, and here's the report. And you can see, for example, I got inspired by these kind of buttons and how this is selected, this is not selected, and I replicate that more or less in here. So you can see this section now is purple and the color here is different. And you can see that similar of what you see here. The color is now blue and the background is blue. So I'm more or less replicating that formula since clean and nice. For the status that can tell you if something is completed or blocked or whatever, I was inspired by this design. You can see here the step one, card details completed, step two, from review completed, etc. In the report that I share with you, we have something similar, for example, here, where we can see card reference labels, tooltips, combining tooltip types, card, actionable cards, locked. So this design is very similar of what I showed here. But I didn't put the status of in each individual step, only the last one, because I found out that it was just adding more and more information for no reason. So I try to do not make duplicate information. For example, this mark says is completed. So I didn't need to add complete here because it's kind of obvious. But some icons are not obvious. So at least at the very end, I was able to just put the text in there. So that's why you can see locked is here. For this one, complete is here. For this one, I don't you don't see anything here, but you see at the very end, just to keep things kind of clean.
sure.
So that's what I did first. I started collecting information. So this is the navigation panel. You can see that it's very similar of the one I have, especially this one is almost like exactly the same stuff as I have in my dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
And the distribution, how I came up with that arrangement. So I got this design from other website, and I saw that, hey, here's a navigation on the left side. Here I can put my progress bar. Then the selection can be in like another section, an individual section, and then the content, including the large image, can be at the far right. So I took this one. I liked how things were organized, and that's why I replicate. For the table in our report allows you to switch. So I found some ways, some designs that maybe it's not basically switching, but it allows me to understand some patterns. Even the image that you can see here with this kind of gradient effects, it was copied, or I found inspiration from other places where I really liked how those gradient colors at the background looked, and I was just making sure that that can be as well implemented. There is a lot of work behind designs like that. Once I have my inspiration, what I do is I go through Figma in this case, but you can use any tool, and then I create that report right here. So basically, you can see this is all Figma. I can move things around. Um, Everything is just components. Everything. So you can see here, I can just make any change I want. And that's what I do. I need to create the dashboard here, and then I can replicate this into Power BI. In order for me to do that, sometimes you need multiple resources, multiple icons that you need to create. So then dynamically look all the images that I have to create in order to make that work fine. So there is a ton of work. It's not just like me setting like right now and coming up with something like this in a couple of hours. It takes weeks and weeks. So knowing that this is the
Can
process,
you zoom in on that A2, that one column Just as an example of that.
Yep. So here are all the images.
Right.
Every image you see in the report, I have them here in Figma. And then I export this image and save it in somewhere else, and then I get the URL. So that's how we render the images. Same thing for the big images, the large images. I have all those components. The plan is always to differentiate images that we already finished and work that we still working on that is still pending. So in the dashboard, for example, you can see that this is completed, and you can see that kind of color in the back. So this is completed, and you can see that kind of gradient color in the back. But this one is not. So then the image is still kind of basic.
It
If
looks
we
bland.
Yeah, if we go to Cartesians, labels is already finished. So then you can see a lot of details. You can even see the legend. You can see like a complete image. But if you go to other ones, then everything start being like just like a concept. So there are
Oh
many
gosh, do I love
there,
that. That is
there
smart.
there are many touches that you need to think at the moment when you are creating the concept of your report, whatever that is. And it needs to make sense. It needs to deliver a message, even though that is not that clear. Intuitively, humans are capable to understand based on multiple associations, like alignment, like belonging to, or like items belonging into in a group, location, similarity of items, all those concepts you need to make sure that you take advantage of them. So then the report is shining. Now, knowing that part, if we take this report that I have, which is this is the original, this is what I came up with. As well, I use references somewhere else to to get this kind of view done. So my plan here is I will create another page using this same data, as you can see here, but another design. It needs to be completely different. I have no idea how that will turn, but what I can say is that the first step I always take is I go to, in this case, Pinterest. And in Pinterest, I have a gallery of multiple views that I have collected along the years. And sometimes I call, like these ones, I call them components, icons. And sometimes I have a collection of reports based on color. For example, this is like dark themes. And I see a lot of reports that they look like with dark backgrounds and all this stuff. So I look how they actually look and how they actually use the colors, etc. So all that stuff, I collect them along multiple years. And right now, my idea is to first, if I know that my report relies on color, for example, in the original report, I need to be able to select yellow, purple, and pink. And that selection should give me indication of what's going on in the report.
Hmm.
So that's one important thing. So having a multicolor report is going to be against me. It's going to be very difficult for me to handle multiple colors and then deliver a clear message. So knowing that, obviously, all my options that I had here, like deep blue or purple theme or green theme, yellow theme, none of this will work. I need to find something clean, very neutral. And I was looking at this one and I really liked it. So let's go and see this design. Oh well, it shows something completely different of what I saw, but let me yeah, let me see. Maybe it has more images here. Okay, yeah. So this is basically it is the same, but what happened is they make everything grayscale. So let me just grab. I'm just gonna take a picture of this report, and I'm gonna paste this in Figma, which Figma
Well, I
is
look at all those Figma assets that, or all those Pinterest assets that you have. And I'm just amazed at how many years it must have taking you to put that together. So everybody, start your Pinterest board now.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. It's pretty good stuff. So that's, I want something clean. I want something that really doesn't rely so much in color, like this one, for example. This is a
Mm,
design that I truly liked. Um, so I'm gonna take a screenshot too,
mm.
and I'm gonna paste this one in my in my Figma. Oh, it's right here. There it is. And then I'm gonna see. I usually like to collect maybe four or five, and then from there I can start working on. So
Okay.
let me choose one more. Let's see. So something really clear. Um, I remember I had one that was pretty cool.
And this is just like all of your inspiration. And we're trying to
Yeah,
like sift through the inspiration to find the magic we're going to use in this build.
that's correct. And the first thing that I'm looking for is clean reports. I do not want to see backgrounds. I do not want to see reports that have a lot of flashing stuff. Why? Because my analysis relies on a single color,
Mm.
and having multiple colors will play against the analysis. So that's why I'm focusing my eyes on clean stuff. Now, I see that there is a bicycle. Like, I need to show in my report, I have images of bicycles, right? Like this.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I need to do, what I usually do is, all right, so if I need to display the image of the icon, what can I do? Okay, so then what I do is in Pinterest as well, I am trying to jump from window to window.
We're
So what
doing
I
the work here. Everybody's had that same issue of like, oh, where'd my
product.
browser go?
Okay, so I just type product UI mobile. And what I need to find is something that can play really well with the report that I'm planning to design. Sometimes you can see there is not much I can find, but sometimes everything starts with one selection. So this is something that might help. And you can see now, based on this selection, I have a lot of similar stuff in here.
So why did you choose mobile?
Well, because usually in mobile devices, they show you items like this kind of like in this way. So in mobile, they have this kind of gallery. I can as well put a website, like I will put product display website, and
Mm.
that might bring something. But I find that mobile designs really bring some kind of icons or images in the way that I'm looking for. So that's I'm trying to find now something clean. Like, so here we have a shirt and we have the colors down here.
Mm.
But as you can see, this might work. I need to show information about that particular bicycle, or in this case, you can see that there is information down here. There is like size. So this design might work. I can just take screenshot, and then I'm gonna place this one in the Figma. This is for my image, and maybe I need a second one, something else that I can. Let's see. This one is pretty cool because not only shows you the main image, but you can see small images down here. Do you see
Hmm.
that? So this is kind of cool
I
as
like that.
well. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, let's grab that one.
And I like that it has the like there's that background on the image, but like the image is
Hmm.
like it feels like it's on top of it.
Yep. Yeah. Let's. I think this is my favorite. My favorite so far. So let's try to use that one. Okay. So I think we have something nice here. Um, I can start with this. Let's see the distribution. Um, the main focus for this one, credit card, is right here. So the information for the credit cards that you want to know the spending or more information is at the left side. Then at the right side we see the details. Let's look at this one, campaigns. So we have the campaigns that you can look, and then the details. I believe this is at the right. That's what I'm assuming. But this arrangement is not kind of, it's not intuitive. My eye goes really quickly to the right side. And this one, the only way that my eye goes back to the center is because maybe this black and a lot of information all clustered. But what I do like is how they have this kind of other floating interfaces that
Mm.
can allows you to change views. I think this is pretty cool. What I like about this one is the navigation pretty clean. There is a very clean like navigation system from left to right, and the hierarchy is really well defined. Something that I can see is that I don't need to put any background. I rely on lines. So there are lines here that divide sections. So I need to
Mm.
be very careful how I handle this. Just for the sake of time, I usually do all the concept in Figma, and my dimensions is always 1920 pixels wide and 1080 pixels height.
Hi.
Yep. So that's what I do. So that means I need to replicate that in my report. So a new page, and we go to the format, page information. No, I'm sorry, what was it? I think it's Canvas settings. Yep. And then custom right there. I like middle, so that's good. And I really don't like this like kind of dots around it. So I'm gonna just. There are multiple ways to do this, removing the dots. One way is just go here and make it 49, I believe. Yeah, 49. Yeah, because once you get to 50%, then it returns this stuff. But if you say 49, you can get some kind of nice and clean design like this. Um,
Oh my gosh, look at that.
yeah, but as you can see, the shadow is not that strong. Now,
Right.
the other thing I like to do is I like to add a wallpaper, and then the
Okay.
wallpaper I make it really light, like almost like 90%. So you barely see a difference between the page and the background. Remember,
Okay.
the design needs to be very clean. So let's go back to our inspiration. Where was it? Okay, so here it is. Let's look at it. Pretty clean. I can see a nice background though, like a really nice background from both sides, like a blue and some kind of bluish, purplish color. I can let that at the very end. It really doesn't matter to me because I have multiple colors. Maybe it works well here because the base color is blue always, this kind of blue. So then it goes well with this other background. But in my case, this color is dynamic. It will change depending my selection.
Mm.
So having a color here will play against me. All right, so now that I can see again my inspiration, let's start with the navigation. I see a navigation system here. What I can do in Power BI, I will bring some items. In this case, it's pretty simple because everything is white. I'm just gonna bring a line. Sometimes people ask me why I do not design the background in PowerPoint or Figma and then just import the image as part of the background. I do not like doing that because you end up with a pixeled background. And in the future, we want to make improvements for the themes. So in the themes, I can make all my report light, and then I can create another theme that will make everything dark mode, and it
Mm.
will be very easy to give instructions to my theme that even the lines, the shapes, the shadows, everything changed. So then it will respect the new look and feel. So that's one of the reasons I really don't like to use images. I prefer using always shapes and lines. Obviously, I need to be very careful because having so many will make your report kind of like slow. So here's the image. I believe we don't need fill. I don't even think the fill does anything. But then we're gonna go to
It doesn't do
yeah,
anything.
or maybe it does. Who knows? Let me see. No, it doesn't do anything at all. So, so that's an area of opportunity. Right? And this is the
If we
guy. This is
only
the
knew the
guy.
guy who.
Yeah, this is the guy that owns this space, right? No, I don't know all this craziness, but sometimes I need to pick and choose the barrels. If I fix everything here, we won't have any enhancements or additions in Power BI at all. All right, so this
Oh
this
wow.
is one section. So here's, and then let me create another one for zero. There is. This one will be vertical. One important thing that you all need to always keep in mind is the margins. Margins are super important. The way that I do that is I create a whatever thing. I will just use this one because this is what I have right now at my disposal. But all I need to do here is to add a background. So let me go. Where is the background? Should be in the size and style background, and then I can make this one. Let's use blue, or no, let's use pink. And then how many pixels do I have? I have 20. I think 20 pixels is good. So that's my left margin. Um, no, you know what? I think 30. This might be very little, like that. And then I just copy, paste this one to the other side. Then I do the same, but this time I will reverse. I will reverse it. I will say 3 pixels and just take the maximum. And then paste this one, select all of them, and then we can just change the transparency. Just this is just as an indication. That's all it is.
All right,
This
so you're not
area,
going to leave this in the report. You're going to delete this after we're done with the build, right?
yeah, this is just the margins. It's super important because people do not pay attention to this. This is what actually makes the magic of a good design. This is what differentiates good with bad. If you do not have this one well defined, then your design is going to start getting dirty and dirty. So that always keep this in mind. They have to be around every element. For example, here, let me just
Look
go
at that.
like this. Look, you can see those elements right there. So they need to be in this way.
Mm.
Um, Now, in my design, in this inspiration that I saw, I can see that there is some kind of icon here. But oh, look, the amount of margin is like way too much. It might be way too much for me. This one is just too excessive. I think having a minimalistic um, interface is all I need. So what I do, I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come up with. I'm gonna use some of the icons that I already have here, so then it will be much easier. So let me take them all out. Export this one. Oh, sorry, PNG by 4. All right, so let's go to Power BI and let's create our first button. Um, Blank. Then go to button style. Start with a icon, custom, browse. It's right there.
Oh, nice.
And then we do not need text. And let's make this squared. Oh, let me go back and see my inspiration. Where was it? Down here. Oh, it's just saying that whatever is selected is black. Everything else is kind of lighter. Same as this one. You can see everything that is
Sure.
selected is kind of black. So I will follow that principle.
Gosh, I love how you keep going back to your inspiration to make sure you're staying on track with your vision.
Oh yeah. Important. So what is this doing? So I'm making sure that I have a good leverage between each side. And then with the image, I will just increase the image so then automatically expands and fills the area that I have this like assigned. This will prevent issues in the future. So you can see here.
Right, because you're not just picking the size of the image, you're picking the size of the space inclusive of the margins.
That's correct. So now all I need to do, go back to the Figma, and then I will export four more icons and then just replace the icon. So let's choose this one, export PNG, and 4 times. This is just the quality, the size of the image.
Okay.
Same thing, PNG, 4 times, and one more. Oh, Chris, I didn't know that I was going to do this. I
This is
am like,
fascinating to me. Like I am watching with rapt attention because I like the thing that I'm asking is okay. Now you're going to duplicate those, and I'm sure you'll swap out the pictures, but those are black. The ones you export are black. How are you going to get to gray?
I'll show you. So let me see. Where's my inspiration? Okay, so now what I'm looking here is the space.
Yep.
How much space is here? So too close is bad, too far away is bad. So I need to keep a balance as well. Come here. I select all of them and then I can go to format and I can select distribute. So that's how we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to just let me check one thing really quickly. Sometimes I forget if there are some options here, but it seems like we didn't put transparency here. What a shame. Yeah, what a shame. Yeah, that's it. That's crazy. Why did they do
Gee,
that?
wouldn't it be nice?
Well, but we will. That's already in our plans to always provide transparency on field icons, images, etc. Within the Nuclear visual, when you see the like when you import the image, you can change the transparency.
Oh, awesome.
Um, so let me see if there is something else I can do instead this. Let me see, field. I'm just curious because I really don't want to create multiple images just for the sake of
Right.
having. So I have this one, then I can select fill. Let me see if I can do some trick here. Size, padding, maybe 10, 10 would be more. 15, 15. So close. Maybe 20. Let me go all the way to 20. Look at that. It's very
Well,
close. Let me see. Maybe I need more.
yeah. How did you do that? How did you get that?
It's just in the background, but you know what the issue we have with this
Oh,
is that it's keeping the background.
I gotcha.
But I can work on that as well. So I can focus first on getting the padding right,
Okay.
and I believe maybe another 4 or 3 pixels in each side will do the job. Oh man, well, it didn't even let me. It's 20 pixels the maximum. Here is the PM of their visualization struggling. Okay, so what else? What other trick do I have? So let me see. Maybe adding at the top. No, my help. No, so the top doesn't even help. So then my next approach. Let me think. The image. That's what I do. Like
And yeah, we
something.
worked through it. Like
Yeah, yeah.
this is
This
the
is what I
job, right?
do.
You
This
know.
is what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I try to find every possible strategy to make things work. So then, when I find things like this, what is my next step? Well, my next step is if this doesn't allow me, then let me change my margins
Hmm.
right there. So now I can work with this, and then I will bring this one back. So then I can move my line, a line to. I'm sorry, send to back, and then this one I can just move it
I
right
gotcha.
here, right here. So now this one doesn't.
Oh gosh.
It's just at the beginning is always the
Yeah. No. No.
it's always the difficult part. But once everything is organized, everything falls really easily
Right. But I
right
can
there.
see how you need like a repository of these assets, and like
Hmm.
there's a lot that could go into just helping you with this, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So here we are gonna have default. I think we don't need anything else for this one, but for this one, let's change the image. Icon not necessary. Neither this one. Fill. Let's choose another one. And then here what we're gonna do is we're gonna say default. I believe like 85% will. I'm sorry, this is something else.
Like
So
rounding
what the heck?
corners.
Yeah, that does nothing. So let me go fill. This one should be something around 70, 75 maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it at 70 for now. And then when I hover over, let's see. Why is not doing anything? Okay, so that's just curious.
Huh.
Yeah, strange. Maybe some kind of bug in here. Let me go back and forth. Yeah, that's pretty peculiar. Doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Text messages rather than voice messages, comma,
The
because
image
they
is
can
in
only
there.
understand about
Transparency,
70% of what you're saying.
who knows? Let me
With
go.
voice
Yeah,
messages,
that one really.
comma, but with text messages, I can use a translator app to help me
Yeah, it's let me see.
learn.
Default 70%. And hover.
Huh, it doesn't change it.
Let me see one thing just to test things out. Yeah, it's not. For some reason, it's not working now. But maybe once I publish this report, works. Maybe, or maybe some of my versions that I have because I have like developing version of Power BI.
Okay.
Maybe that feature is somehow locked or somewhere, but it should work. Once I have the default here selected as 70% transparency, then on hover I can define that it will be 0. So that means when I hover my mouse over, it will look black.
Sure. Sure. No, I think that makes
Then
sense, and I think we can envision what that would be like.
imagine.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, so let me go and select the other ones.
If it only defaulted to fit instead of normal. Yeah.
The last one. As you can see, some of these icons, they're not kind of centered, so I'm gonna try to move them. Like this one is now centered.
Mm.
Now this one is, and that one is now. So we have somehow a navigation right there, and then I'm gonna need some kind of icon. Like I can do that at the very end, but for
Sure.
now this is like already there. So our navigation is done. I can go to the selection pane, and for now, call this one uh, nav padding left.
Oh, look at you, clever boy.
So now I am in this side. This
So
section
you
is
could
going to
still
be.
snap those back in, but they're hidden
Mhm.
from now. So like when we go through, if we need or we needed to do more edits or add more icons, all we do is unhide those and we could just add those back in.
That's right. Yeah,
Gotcha.
the selection pane is an area that not many people take advantage of.
Hmm.
If you want to improve design, this is the best thing to do. Like, is my recommendation always to use the selection to create groups, name those items with some kind of label, that gives you an indication what they do, and then later on you can remove them. All right, so let me continue. Let's talk about the image, right? So we saw this amazing design. Oops, I'm still having a hard time to, like, we found this thing. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna export this image like that. I'm gonna go to Power BI and I wanna import the image.
In the whole. Oh.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, again, just to do not do the whole thing from scratch, I'm gonna copy this one, paste it here, but this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to replicate this design.
Mm.
So the approach here is we need the image, we need the name, we need some kind of information, and I need to figure out a way to do this. so so let's start with what we have. So let me remove some stuff that right now is just making things difficult for us. The first one I think is a problem is maybe this one. I just want to remove this thing. Maybe that's the shadow. No. Sometimes I do so many trickery stuff that I forget what was it. Mm-mm. No. I remember this was a image, like this black area.
Yeah.
That was an image. As you
Or
can
the
see,
background.
no, it's an image, but like I'm saying, my desktop right now is not behaving right. So the image is still there, even if I removed it. It just happens that it's not doing the right stuff.
Mm. Okay.
Um, the shadow is something we really don't need neither. So I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna remove. I'm gonna remove the background as well. Like all this right now doesn't work for us. I need to start clean. And sometimes that's what I do. If I have a design already that I can start with, instead of building something from scratch, I just copy that and just add the data that I need, and I can start from that point instead from scratch.
Sure.
One thing that I see first is I need to divide this information into multiple pieces. I see that the main image is at the top, so let's start with that. Oh, but I have a detail, like this is a title. This is a
Mm.
title. So then what I can do here is I can go into, let me see, what is the maximum padding I can use here? Just one sec. For now, I'm gonna add a border just to see my boundaries and see where I am. In the original design, I remember we do not have border, like anything is rounded. Everything is like kind of straight, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. Yep. So things have a really small rounded
Mm.
here, like it's so
Like a
little.
2.
Yeah, so little. So then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do that for now. See, sadly, oh no, yeah, we have pixels here. But you're right, maybe like 2 pixels. No, 2 pixels is way too little. I'll say 8 pixels.
Now you're
Mhm.
being gratuitous.
All right, let's go to the title. The title. Oh no, I'm sorry. The padding. So padding. Let's. How about if we start with 20 again in each side? I'm trying to work with the design team to create a better system where you can just type one place and then everything changes at the same time instead one by one.
That'd be nice. Like maybe you select the bars that you want to like sync and then you type in and those stay the same, or I don't know. Tossing it up.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see, padding. So let's go product details.
He said, yeah, something like that. This guy's a moron.
You're just laughing at me.
Me to my business.
More or less, right? Like that, I'm more direct. Okay. All right, so this is, I don't think that we need a subtitle. So let's take it away. Image needs to be at the top. Let's go into the card. It's image, right? I believe image, and then should be of the text like that.
Mm.
And then I'm looking at this thing. So now the background. The background, what I need to do is I need to more or less try to identify the size that I will use this kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna like center, like I believe this is gonna be the size of my visual. So
Sure.
let me see. So that's my, this is my header.
Mm-hmm.
I will put like some kind of the title of my report here, some other stuff in here. Who knows? I'll find out later. But I need to again
Mm.
define my padding here. And then now that I know the space that I can use and the space that I cannot use, I can then set my the size of my card. Why do I need this? Because I'm gonna take a screenshot of this image, take it to Figma, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a frame, and that frame is gonna have the same proportion of this thing.
Oh, look at you.
I'm giving up all my tricks. I feel violated. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna remove this away. Oh, wait. Yeah. So I think this is the right proportion. Now, something that I like about Figma is this frame allows me to then bring another component, like in this case, a shape. So I can put it here inside. You can see that the shape actually is bigger than that, but the frame only shows you a fraction of it.
Oh, I love it.
So right now I'm just gonna do this. Remember, my design is clean, so it should be something like a light gray. Look like this, something like this maybe.
Mm.
I cannot use any color like here. It needs to be gray. It needs to be clean. I can start from here. I'm gonna call this background. And then I will export. Let's go to Power BI. See what the hell is that? So that's the padding. Let me see where can I import that image? Maybe in the car itself. We have background. Oh, please don't tell me that I'm gonna deal with this bug. Yeah. So I have the image here, but it's still showing the previous one.
The old image.
Just as out of curiosity, what happens if I reset defaults? If I need to do this from scratch, it will be a shame, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Background, let's see. Yeah, so that's what I need to do. Okay, anyways, it's not a big deal.
Do you have to change that to fit or
Mm,
fill?
yeah, no, first I'm starting with the image, right? So, oh, you mean this one? Yeah, it
Yep.
needs to be fit.
Yes.
Yeah, and now let's start with the image. Oh no, before doing that, remember I did some changes in my title.
Yep.
So this title is called product details. Some people like to put like capitals in every single word. I'm trying to move away from that. I think that I have no idea who came up with that kind of structure, but I prefer something like this. We said padding was what was how much padding did we use? 20, 20, and 20. So 20, 20, and 20, like that. I believe we have bold size 14 in black. So it will be. We have so many fonts here that it's hard to decide which one should I use. Yeah. Uh, and another tip is never 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 use pure black. That's another of my tips. Like 000 is not a good approach. Try to use some other dark
Really?
grays. Yeah, it looks better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my. I believe this is a good thing to do.
Practice.
It's a good practice. This is it's something that really people suggest doing. But you know what the problem here I see is the background doesn't go all the way up to the
Right. You have the card background, not the image background.
no the image background. So that means to me that the padding I have here is useless. So in the previous design that I had, it maybe makes sense, but not for this one. For this
Yeah.
is useless. It's something I cannot take advantage of.
So
So
we have
then
to
what
get
I'm
rid
gonna
of the
do?
title too then because it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything is useless. So no need for me to keep going to the title, and that's it. And then let's then start with the image. The image here. Let's select. Oh, sorry. This one I believe is based on image URL. And long time I haven't used this data set, but I'm pretty sure that this one comes from products table. You know what? Product, and then we have some image. Maybe this one. Holy, I still remember.
look at you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then above text, like that. Where else? Call out. The call out. So the call out needs to have the name of the product. So having this label really doesn't make any sense. Uh, we can make the call out kind of smaller. Again, and then I can make this one 25. Let's start from there.
Okay.
Okay, and again, I do not like the fact that this is so close. My padding here is of, let me go back, 30, but I am not sure that I can use 30 for 20, I think is fine. So card has some kind of padding components when you select custom, then we can set this to 20, 20, and 20, just like the previous one I did for the visual container that now I stopped using. Just for sake of, oh yeah, look, it allows me for more.
Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah. I think it worked that kind of rule that I have as a PM that says everything needs to be support from 1 to 999. And then engineers ask me, why so much? And I said, I don't care. So who knows? That's a good limit.
Because otherwise we go to 256 and we're like, it only goes to 255. What the heck, man?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you just do? How'd you?
Oh, this is the
Oh,
alignment.
alignment.
So
Okay.
that's the vertical alignment. All right, so now we have our image there. It seems that we cannot make this one grow much more. That means that now we need to make changes in our background, in this kind of background. So then it looks like that. Or we can increase the size of the image, but then we're going to run into a risk of the image being incomplete. So here's where we need to take some kind of hard decisions. I believe, based on all the information I want to put on here, I can start with this size. I can take another screenshot. This is just a reference for me to know exactly how much I need to remove. Let me go to...
You gotta go Figma and paste it right next to it, and then drag that box up until it gets to the
Oh,
place where you want
yes.
it to be.
Exactly. You're an expert. So I think
No, you
this
just make it
is...
so easy. I can figure it out when you're doing it. Like, I see what you're good. I
Okay,
can
but
one chess move ahead, right? Chess master is like 16 or whatever. I'm one ahead. That's all I got.
oh, but remember, we forgot that this one has 8 pixels of...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when we make these changes, we move the image. So we need to be
Oh.
careful. So maybe before me exporting that image, I need to make this one rounded and then select 8 pixels and see if it doesn't change. No, it doesn't. Okay, so that's good. But do you see this? Is what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead, yeah. So this is like only 8, and if I want to customize each, I can see each corner, the top,
Mm.
left, right. I want something same for the padding. So we
Oh
have one
sure.
padding. You select changes all padding sites, and then if you want to customize them individually, then go and kill yourself.
That's a much better thing than I proposed. It's like you're a professional at this.
Okay, so that's the image background one. Let me go back to my report. This is not good anymore. It's the new one. And fit. So there is... That's what we have right now. Again, I might be able to change this later on with something more like darker, just to emphasize this area. For now, all I care is I was able to replicate this kind of effect. That's what I wanted to do. Uh, I'm still having issues with what to do with this section down here, as well as I need to bring information and I need to create like multiple slicers. As you can see, user can select multiple type of like rims, like speeds, tires. So all those options have to be down here, and the user needs to select them. So it's really important for me to program the space that I will use. And I need a title. Like you cannot create, or it's a good practice to always have some kind of title, so then the user knows what is all this information for. So knowing that the car visual has one thing that we call detail labels, like I'm sorry, reference labels, these ones, they will allow me to come up with multiple information just like I did down here. So maybe I can use that to show the name of the product and maybe show the model. Instead of so many details like here, I can show the model, which is electric.
Mm-hmm.
And what else can I do? I don't think that we have price here, do we? It would be cool to see even the price. No value. Let me check the data because I do like the fact that there is some kind of price in here.
Yeah, that looks really sharp. I think it. And it's very clear. It's like this is the object. This is what it's called. This is how much it
Go to
is.
Walmart.
Get some more descriptions, and we have variations on it. Right.
That's right. Yeah, value is the cost. So we can bring that information as well. Okay, so reference label has something called sentence layout. Maybe I can use that to trick my reference label to think that there are two different layers. Let's try that out. And maybe I can use this one for my title. Before me moving things around, I'm going to start with the reference labels because that will give me leverage of what I can do next. What I need is to show, number one, the name of the product, the type, if it's electric or not, and then no, you know what? This electric or not, I can create a slicer that users can select between electric, rural, and hybrid. I believe that I have three options. So all I need is the name and the price. So yeah, reference label will work for sure. So let's start with that. Let's go add one, and I'll bring the name of this thing should be product name. So let's product. Oh, there's even a measure I created. What is this for?
What,
Yeah,
what
I
is
am
all
like,
this
what is
all
that
about?
for? Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Oh man, I'm so dumb. This is the one I was selecting the wrong one. Reference labels, product name, we already have it. Add a data label, product name. So that's the product name. Yep, that's right. But the problem is, oh no, okay, that's fine. And then we need a price, right?
Yep.
So we need a detail and then value. All right. Opportunity value. Come on. Oh yeah. You have to select the label and then add the detail. But that's showing us the count. So maybe I have a value already here, value of biker. Okay, so I will assume that maybe this is the value. Um, I believe I need to have some kind of measure that says show me the maximum and then it will give me the right information. So I'm just gonna select this one, and I will say maximum.
Yeah, because that's probably the total, right?
Yeah, that's the total. Yep. So that's the value for one bike. Very expensive bike. Okay, so now the title, not needed. The value, let's make it 14 points. Bold. The previous dark or black that I used, or gray, dark to gray. And then let's go to, I'm thinking, how can I do this? The only way that I believe we can do this is if I go to All layout and tabular.
Yes, she is. I asked her if she wants to go to Walmart. Do you want to go?
Yeah, really bizarre stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
what
I'm
I
going to
think.
admit, I've had similar struggles. So I'm happy to see that it wasn't just me.
No, no, it is not you. And I believe, I believe that I am working on a document to really change all these kind of layout behaviors, which are kind of bizarre. What's happening here with the tabular, just for everyone to know, the tabular creates three sections: one for title, value, and detail. And then you
Oh.
should be able to select each one and then align this one to the left and this one to the right. So then you can create something like this design, but I can see that this still not working as expected. So if that's the case, I will just go back to my reference label. I might have to deal with not being able to achieve this. So I need to create a different, like in here, there is a difference between the name and the cost. One is the distance between them. But now, if they were close, you might think that is the same name, like it's Galaxy Watch
Hmm.
5 300. So I cannot make this one the same as the other side. I need to make it different. So I will keep it right now. Let me see. I'm gonna select the product name, select the product name as well, and then from here the value will go up to 25. No, 25 I think is way too much, maybe 20. No, keep it 25 for now. In detail, I will use light. Twenty pixels,
Okay.
something like that, maybe.
So
Um,
you're creating a visual difference between these two in
Elements.
both the font and the size of the font. So
Yeah,
like
the font style and
yep.
the font family. I'm sorry, the font style and the. I'm sorry, the font family, which
Hmm.
I use the bold, and the other one is light,
Hmm.
and as well use different size of the font. So that creates that kind of separation. There is one section here in the reference labels that only appears when you select all, and that allows me to remove the divider
Mm.
like that. So if that's the case, now what I can do is I can bring the call out. So let me go to the image first. Image. Then I can bring this one to the bottom. And then I go to the call out.
Hmm.
And the call out, I turn off this one. I turn on the label. In the label, I go to. I remember we had an option to customize this thing. Oh yeah, we do. I need to select the car first. Product details. And then we can move this one to the center. Where is that option?
Womp womp.
There's nothing here. Let me see. Maybe the value will manage it. Oh man. So another trick. So this one I'm gonna make 8, and then I wanna make this. I'm gonna make this 100% transparent. That's it. So that's the that's the miserable way for me to make that change. Okay, so that's sad. All
But
right.
now, but it works though. I
It
mean, like,
works. It works. But no, it shouldn't work like that. It should have label. Label should have its own horizontal alignment. I know that it
Yeah.
will look bizarre that the color is one side, but sometimes, as you can see, this is one case where we need that, and
Hmm.
somehow we cannot. All right, so let me go and add kind of format here, sample maybe, and then 14, the black that we are using. So that's the product details. We have that stuff. Now I can see that maybe the image that I had before now will work. So let me try that out. So that's the background. I need to go to the card, go to the background. As you can see, I'm trying to memorize everything I'm doing. Sometimes some people don't have the patience to do that. No, still too much. So let me go back to Figma and I can make this one a little bit lower like that. Export. This one is going to be image 2.
Oh, does it remember the setting you chose as to the image, like PNG and stuff?
What do you mean?
Well, in Figma, the first time you export it, you had to select PNG and the font or the points.
Yeah, yeah. Once in Figma, once you select these kind of settings,
Hmm.
and then you define how big you want the image to be, that stays.
Okay,
Yeah. However, if you create another component from scratch like this, like it will use the defaults, and then you need to move them or change them.
I gotcha.
So I don't need to focus on that anymore. Just one time I do it, that's all I need to worry about. All right, so that's one thing I could do. I can see as well here, you can see that this black color looks kind of good, right?
Hmm.
Just as an experiment, I could try that. So let me see how that looks. Sometimes happy accidents, yeah, happy accidents are,
Are happy?
mhm, they can show up multiple, like really cool stuff. I'm just gonna copy the same color as this. Now I need to make sure that my image can support that.
I was gonna say those tires are going to be a bit of a challenge. I bet.
I think so. There is a way here to show, like I can overlay it front, and then let's see. So in the image we have this kind of option, and this sometimes I can find ways to see if images can work on light or backgrounds, but it seems like this one won't work. So no, this one. Let's go one by one. No, no, any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
think you could go darker, just not that dark, because that the black
you know,
tires and the black handles are going to
yeah, you know
need some
what?
contrast there, right?
Yeah, I think I have an image here that I can use. Do I? No, I don't. No, I don't. So let me go back to where I was and let's try it. Let's see what happens. So three PNG, okay, PNG, and then export. Just out of curiosity, because I think it will make things look that gray. I'm not that happy with it.
Yeah, it
It's
needs to
just,
be darker or something, right?
it needs to.
Will you go to the house or anything? Their house? Huh?
It kind of looks cool.
Well,
Actually, I like it. It's just matter of finding the right black
Yeah.
to display the other components. Maybe for this one, I might need to make it darker because the darker it is, then the other colors will show up. If I make it lighter,
Oh,
then the grays here, like this grays, will start showing less and less.
I gotcha. So you're saying go darker on that color to get that to really pop.
Yes, that's correct. So let me go back to
Uh-oh, are we going to all black?
all.
Zero,
Yeah,
zero,
that. Oh man, this is something that I don't like to do, but well, it is what it is. Export.
You're not quite black. That was a little.
Yeah, a little bit,
Yeah.
little bit.
It's a little bit funny. This feeling inside. It's a song from a movie.
Which movie?
Oh, look at that.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
So now you can see the shape of the bicycle here, even in, like dark on top of dark, but it's still working. So let's use that.
Wow.
And again, let's try to make this one even better. As you can see in my inspiration, they have some kind of like patterns in here. I
Yeah.
can do something like that, or maybe I can bring some kind of gradient, um, and then make like for now I am not gonna go that wild because we don't have all day long. But what I can do is just making sure that we use that black and we can have a new color for our title or label. That's white, and then I can just make it a little bit gray. Let's see how much, 20%. Yeah, let's start with that for now. Because I think this one might be too much. It's taking just so much protagonism. I want it to be I want it to be there, but not like, hey, I'm here.
Right.
Right? So 70 my work. That's it. So what do you think?
I think this looks great.
Okay, this thing doesn't work anymore for us. And now we can bring this one here.
I love how you just like took a picture and you put it on the page for you to work with, so you could see it
Mhm.
and be going back and forth. This makes a ton of sense.
Yep. Now, sometimes we see that there is like this line can be just too much. Sometimes we want to make it more artistic. And if that's what we want, look at this trick. At least we know we're moving forward. That's important. So I know that whatever experiment I'm doing right now, it will work for us. Centered and then color.
Oh, look at that.
So that can be one. The other one is I can reverse it. I can make it the other way around. What do you think? Which one?
Um, I mean, I'm actually kind of partial to the first one with the flat. I mean, like the
Okay.
design was.
Okay. Let's try that. Let's continue with that. It's just sometimes it's good to experiment.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
And let's go to
I mean,
fit.
I suppose the other inverse of the curve would make it look like you're sitting like kind of visually like you're on top of a hill. You know what I mean with the converse curve like that?
Mhm.
So that might have some like positive vibes to it.
Yeah, but for now, let's keep it like this.
Yeah.
And then the next one is we need to know the user needs to select the color. They need to select the size. I mean, I believe we even have size here too. So they need to select multiple options. So then this variable will change. And to do that, we need to create a button slicer. I love this button slicer, by the way.
It's
It's one of
fantastic.
it's my favorite stuff.
Uh,
Okay, so that's what we have. Just just want to know. Mm, I'm trying to think how I can do this. So I can start with the model maybe. No product. Okay, so that's it. That's it. And then image. Again, it has some time that I haven't looked at this data set, so I'm trying to remember what is the best way I can work with this. So what is exactly what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to create some kind of models that you can see. Obviously, in order to make this work, you need to have another slicer. I'm just going to copy from this place. So this is a slicer where you can select the color. So we need to have something like this. And what this does is allows us to see every categories that I can see. Just like here, you can see that watch.
yeah.
And then when you click it, you can see it in a larger screen. I'm trying to replicate that.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing here. So now you can see a small image. One problem we might face is, yes, you can see the watch pretty good here because the watch doesn't have so many details. It's just kind of like a small involved stuff. Well,
Well,
then
and it's the watch itself is very small, right?
yeah. So
And
when
narrow where a bike is wider.
yeah, but you can see here we have another kind of this might work.
Yeah,
So
where you
we
do it
now
like too wide.
yeah, maybe two and two. So
Yeah,
having four and then the user selects. But I'm kind of afraid that this is like having four is not an intuitive experience. When you're looking at selection, you see things like this in rows.
sure.
So as you can see, that's exactly how my mind works. I am
Hmm.
not just coming up with whatever idea and throwing it up. I'm trying to really hear myself and understand, is that the right approach? Does that make sense in any intuitive experience? Is the people aware that that's how they filter and navigate? And if it's not, then I need to work around some scenarios and capabilities in Power BI. So knowing that even if I put two by two and that will allow the bicycle to look kind of bigger, it will then be hurt. Like the experience can be hurt. It can damage how people understand the way that they can navigate through this first section. If that's the case, then all we need is to go to the layout and then single row. And then the single row, I want to have four, or I can, you know what I can do? No, I'm gonna start with four. So let's put this one here. So actually, it doesn't look that bad. Look,
No, that looks pretty good.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
Are
look
you
that
able to
bad.
change the selection so that it's just
Of course. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right. So that's the product category, and we need padding. Again, let's go here. Oh yeah, Story is not allowed. The problem I have is the internal padding.
Oh, right.
So internal paddings is inside of the container. As you can see, this E has some kind of space there. These ones, they should not be in this misaligned with the text.
Sure.
So the idea is maybe they should be somewhere in here.
Hmm. Gosh dang, look at that. That's awesome.
It's pretty tough to do this manually, so I'm gonna do it here. Then let me take a closer look. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you're
Yep,
like a
right there.
pixel or two away.
Oh yeah. People don't really take attention to those details, but it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now the image. I do not like the fact that the image is kind of truncated. Let me see if I can fix that. So we should go into the image section, and then let's see where could that be? Right there. And then we can add extra padding inside of the button. You can see here in the example we have, there is padding as well inside of the button. Padding is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I need padding inside, like for the whole report, then padding inside of my container, then padding inside of the container of that container, and so on.
I mean, this
Um,
is. I, I, I mean, you could almost name this video like the art of padding.
the art of padding, yeah, more or less. I'm gonna start with a very aggressive padding. You know what, the image is ignoring the padding. So from here I can start working on a better, maybe 10, half of that. Like that. All images are centered, as you can see, so then the text should be centered as well. People can keep it aligned, there is no problem. As you can see in this design down here, you can see that how the text, like the image is centered, but the
Mm-hmm.
text is aligned left. The reason I am not going to do this kind of approach is because this is more for display to give information. When there is like options like this, like buttons, as you can see, the text should be centered, even
Mm-hmm.
though the title of that slicer or filter is left aligned. So
I gotcha.
I'm gonna try to follow those best practices, and then I'll see how it actually looks. Just gonna see fit. Yeah, normal is the one. Yep. So now things look right. Let me go. Chris, are you sure that you want to see the whole process? Or should we do this in sections, like part number one, the navigation, the first car, part number two, the data visualizations?
All right. Actually, yes. Why don't we? Uh, this is a good run and a great start at this. We're clearly starting with absolutely nothing. Um, and we can bring it back in and actually let's go to us talking here. I absolutely love all the stuff that you're getting in here. Let's save this and let's find time for another part two of working with data featuring Miguel Myers. So because this is this process that you're going through, I think, is incredibly valuable. I know it's been valuable for me to see how you think about it, how you talk it through, how you experiment with this. I think it'd be very valuable for other people as well. So Miguel, I'm going to say thank you very much for like tuning in, watching, and being part of this. I'm going to say to you, the viewers, thank you for like making it to hour 35. Or I mean, it's 1 hour 35 minutes. You know, not hour 35. You know, uh, it's fantastic for you guys to hang in with us. If you want, please make sure you like, subscribe. I should have done all that before. Did you know, Miguel, I have over 700 YouTube videos, and I forget to tell people to like and subscribe on a regular basis. It's
No. How
yeah,
come?
I don't know. Like I get excited about the topic. We get going in on it, and then it's at the hour 35-minute mark where like 4% of viewers are at this point. I say like, subscribe, but you know, we'll
Well,
get there.
it will be good to have multiple sessions of this. As I said, I'll keep the report as it is, so then we can proceed. And actually, it will help me to prepare some DAX, so then we
Mhm.
can have everything ready for like in the next one. Um, and if you can edit it as well to remove a lot of the some kind
Oh,
of information, even better. But you can keep it as raw as you want.
this is working with data. We haven't done like we didn't have anything like a terms of service violation of YouTube, so we're good to go. Please don't violate the terms of YouTube service. So, oh, my hair is all doing something weird there. So great. Miguel, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you want early access to this great content, for as little as $5 a month, you too can become a member. So subscribe, and I'll let you know. We've got a new thing for the highest level. If you become a highest level member, you can get a chosen profile image created for yourself too. So
Wow,
look
like a
for more
god.
details. Thank you guys so much. You have the best day ever. And oh my gosh, we'll see you guys later. Peace. Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.